Okay, on part C, we're not going to be able to squeeze it onto the page if we use the full dimensions. So I'm going to cut everything in half in terms of how I place it on the page. So I can't fit 6 inches in here and be able to do the top view and everything, so I'm just going to half everything. So here we go. We're going to start with our front view first. So it looks like we have a width of 4, which would normally be 4 times 4 is 16, but we're only going to go 8 over instead. So every 2 will be a half of an inch. So I'll pick my starting point right there. I'm actually going to switch pencils. Here we go. And I'm going to count over 8, 2 for every inch. So 1, 2, that's 1 inch. 1, 2, that's 2 inches. 3 inches. Well, let's just count over 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is our width of 4 inches, or 8 cubes in this case. We have a height. Let me zoom in here. This will be better here for you a little bit. And let's see, it looks like we have a height of 6 inches, so each inch is going to equal 2 of the squares or lines or cubes. So it looks like we're going to have to go 2 plus 2 plus 2, so 6 for the 6 inches. So we're going to go up 2, that would be 1 inch. 2 more, that would be 2. Oh, I'm sorry, if we're going to go 2 for everything, we're going to have to go 12. We're going to have to go pretty high. So we're going to go up 2, 1 inch, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Wow. Okay, so that's pretty high. That's going to be our height of 6 inches, or 12 of little lines. This is a width of 4 inches, or 8 of the cubes, 8 of the little lines. And it looks like we have a depth going back of 2.5 plus 1, so a total of 3.5. So that means we're going to need 3 times 2, 6, plus another 1, 7. Make sure I have enough. I'll have enough. Okay. We're going to need a whole page to do this. So here we go. So here is my height. So I'll go ahead and put in a construction line there. And my width, where did it go? Right here, 8. So I'm going to come over here. So there is my height of 12, my width of 8. Yeah, this is right. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8. Something doesn't look right, but I guess 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 ends right there. Let's do it one more time. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 right there. Okay. That looks better. So there is my width of 4, height of 6 inches in real life, which is going to be 12 of these little cubes or squares to represent that height. There's my front view. So now let's go ahead and knock out all the interior details. I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Okay. So it looks like we have this piece right here. Let me shade it in so you can see it better. This falls in the very, very, very front. So we're going to add that piece. And that's the only thing that falls on the front. So we'll start down here at the bottom. It's 3 inches. We're going to go 2, 4, and 6. So 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. And over 1.5 inches. So that's going to be 2 plus 1, total of 3. So there have a corner here, 2, 4, 6, corner right there. All right, so let's go ahead and put in some construction lines, make sure that we are feeling good about we're going to draw those. Okay, so now remember that we are projecting this out. So if we're looking at it from the front, we're also going to see this right here. So it's like if you had a piece of glass and you were projecting each corner out onto this piece of glass. This is the piece of glass that you're looking through to see that front view. So here we go, all the way to the top and then come over 1. So all the way to the top and come over 1. That's that point right there. And over here on the right side, we come up 4. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So corner, 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 corner. We'll go ahead and connect those with the light construction line at the beginning. Boom, there it is. So now I can go over it in pen now that I'm happy. I feel pretty confident that that's correct. And again, if you want to wait till the end to put in your object lines over your construction lines, just to make sure you got it right before you put in that pen, go for it. So obviously once it's in pen, it's pretty darn permanent. All right. There we go. So now we'll move from our front view to our top view. I could also do the right view, but I like doing the top view next. So now looking at it from the top, we have our same width. So I'm going to take my ruler and just extend this up. Slide down and maybe zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Move over here. I'm going to take this line, bring that up as well. Next vertical line, bring that up as well. So now I'll skip. I'm only going to skip. I'll try 3 again. So I'm going to block that off. That's where my top view is going to start. That's going to be the front of my top view. So now we're looking down, and we're in this corner right here. And it looks like it tells us here we go back 2.5. Let me slide up so you can see what I'm saying. So this distance from here to here, it's that 2.5 that's being indicated right there. So I'm going to go back 2 squares, that's 1 inch. 2 squares, that's 2 inch. 1 square, that'll be another half. So now I am right here. I need to come forward 1.5. So that'll be total of 3 squares. And I can count it over, but I know that this line that I brought up from my front view, this edge right here, will already tell me where I can find it. So I can go ahead and block that off with a construction line. So now here I have, well, 1 inch, so that'll be 2 squares. And that's going to be the back of my shape. But what I probably should have done is made that box first, that rectangle for my top view, with a depth of, we said 3.5, so that would be 7. So let's count that off. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7. There it is. So now in my top, I have this line right here, which is this line right here. But you can see that although this has a width of 1.5 inches, this top little piece, which is this one right here, only has a width of 1 inch. So I'm going to come over and just mark that in. It lines up with this corner right here. So that little square is that little square right there. It's 1 inch by 1 inch. So 1 inch right here, going sideways, and kind of depth, and 1 inch in terms of width. So there it is right there. This kind of larger rectangle is this larger rectangle right there. Now sloping down all the way to the edge from that 1 inch square, we have this little slide coming over. Boom, there it is. And now I have all my construction lines in. I want to go over them in pen. So I know I have this edge right here. I know I have this one right here. And now I have this piece right here, this piece right there, this piece right here, this little square up here on top. This line is just a construction line to help me when we drew this down here. Let me go ahead and put in. All right. So if I want to label this, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, this A is this piece right here, A. This little square B is this little square here, B, and this C is this right here. Those are the things I can see in my top view. In my front view, A is up here on top. And now I did not indicate that, so I am going to need to do that now. I have a height of 4.5. So let me go up 1 inch, 2 inch. This is 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 4.5. So at this point right here, where I just put all those, that's that point right there, and I need to come over the full 1.5. So put that in. So A is actually right here when I look at it from the front, and when I look at it from the top, it's right here. Switch back to my pen. Make my object lines. Okay, so there we go. There's our front. If I wanted to continue labeling these, ABC, D is D, and this whole big face right here in pink, E is E right there. So now, let's go ahead and do the right view. So I'm going to slide the paper over a little bit. And slide this paper over. Let's see if we can squeeze this in. So I'm going to come over about 3. I know that my right view has the same height as my front view, so I'm just going to bring these lines over. So there, slide up to the next one. Bring this one over, slide up to the next one. Make sure my ruler's nice and straight. Slide that one over, go up to the very, very top. Bring that one over. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. Everything starts right here. This line is arbitrary. I could have moved over 4 squares or 5 squares. It's an appropriate amount of space here that I could use. So now, up here, so where the front of my top view and the front of my right view, this kind of this front edge right here. I take my ruler, set it at 45, so that's corner to corner to corner to corner. There's my 45-degree angle. And now we're ready to bounce everything off that. So I come over to the right, hits, and comes down. Move my ruler, move it. There it is right there. Comes over, hits the 45, changes direction, comes down. Go to the next one. Oops, I need to bring that all the way through. And now the last one comes over, boom, hits the 45, changes direction, comes down. So that'll be the back of my right view. The back of my top view is transferred over here. So now I've got between these two, so this represents from here to here is my height. From the front to the back, that's my depth. This is my depth right here. Going back, this is my width. They share the height. So height is shared between my front view and my right view. Width is shared between my front view and my top view. Depth is shared between my top view and my right view. So now let's convert these construction lines into object lines. So now, let's see if we're looking at it from the right. Let's take care of this piece right here. So that corner that you see right here is this corner from right there, and it climbs up to right there. So switching pencils. There it is. That's that. This whole face right here is this face right here. Let's see what else we got. This slide coming down is C right here, and then it 4 inches up. So 1, 2, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. So right there. So this whole piece from here to the bottom. This piece right here. This big rectangle is this big rectangle. This piece right here Now something's up. I messed up somewhere. So this is this corner right here. There we go. Glad I did it in pencil first. So you can tell that this is higher. This is 4.5. This one's only 4. That's why it comes up an extra square. So now let me darken this in so we can actually see what the heck we're doing. So this comes down. This comes over. This comes down. This comes down. This comes down to here. So this is C. This piece right here that we've labeled C is C right there. This place, we'll call it, I don't know, F. This is F. This is G. This is G right here. And you're done. So that's how you're going to do part C.